it's your first time tuning in, I'm Kristyn.
And I'm Will.
And welcome to Weeks Watch. So today we want to tell you guys about our wedding day.
So what were your feelings and your thoughts leading up to the day, which is April 29th, 2018?
But I remember being so excited, obviously. I really wasn't even that nervous. I was mostly excited and I was just happy. Like at that point, I was living with my aunt. Will, you were you were dog sitting at a house by yourself, and then you had moved into the home that we bought, which we'll talk about later.
Yeah.
But we were living separately, and we did that because that's just what we believe in with our Christian faith. And so we were constantly saying goodbye to each other every day. But when you're in love with someone to the point where you want to marry them, like that was just getting hard. And I remember just feeling like I'm so tired of saying goodbye. I'm so tired of leaving. Like I just want to be together and come home to you after work and stay and just be together. That was getting hard for me.
I felt the same way. I felt like we've been planning so much and having so many conversations about what we wanted our day to look like. When it arrived, I was kind of like, when I was staying at our house, which we had purchased in February, but we didn't actually move in until, I think I only moved in like a week before. I don't even think I was in there.
I think it was about a week.
And then when I was in there for a week, I was kind of like, oh my goodness, this is real. Every day that I woke up in that house, it got more and more real. Like I was at the end, I was like, oh my goodness, it's like 4 days away. Oh, it's like 3 days away. Oh, it's like 2 days away, you know?
Yeah.
It was kind of crazy. I cried more at the rehearsal dinner with Kristyn coming out and this like, you know, her rehearsal of coming down the aisle than on the actual day. But
yeah, at the rehearsal dinner, I wore a white maxi dress, white sandals. I had my white nails ready for the so I had on all white. So I could imagine that like the day that I actually had me coming out in a white dress on the rehearsal, it just kind of made things feel more real.
For me, it was also funny because I was like, oh yeah, it's gonna be in a few days. Oh, I haven't even written my vows yet. It's in a few days.
Yes.
I didn't write my vows the morning of.
Yeah, we both did. So he didn't write his vows until the morning of. I didn't write my vows until the night before. They were really good quality to have been vows that we wrote kind of at the last minute. But yeah, that leads me into the next like topic or question, which was going to be like, let's talk about kind of paint the picture for the morning of, like.
Sure.
Yeah.
For me, the morning of, so I was getting ready at our house in Baltimore that we had purchased. And you know, like when you're getting ready for that day, you're just hoping everything goes perfect. Everyone tells you, oh, something's not going to be perfect. But I was like, in my mind, I wasn't thinking that was going to happen. And the first thing that Jess does when she sees me is like, hey, you cut yourself shaving and you bled onto your collar. I was like, oh my goodness. I was so worried that I was going to have this blood-stained collar in all of the pictures. Because I can count on one hand the amount of times I've ever cut myself shaving.
Yeah, you were just nervous.
Oh, man.
So for me, I was at my aunt's house, and I woke up in my room. I had my wedding dress hanging up, like, over the window. And, like, it was just, like, honestly, like, it felt like a fairy tale to me. I'm like, oh, my goodness, this is happening. Like, wow. I'm like, oh, this is the last time I'm going to be waking up here, like, as a single, as an unmarried woman. This is the last time that I'm going to be living here. Like, the next time I come and stay here, if I stay under this roof, it's going to be visiting. And like, so I had all these thoughts.
Yeah, we got married at the Belmont Manor in Elkridge,
Maryland.
This beautiful place. And my mom and stepdad, when they arrived, they like said, hey, got pictures. But then my mom went to go to your side.
Yeah, she came over with me, which was nice. I didn't have like a mother figure in the room. And you know, you always picture that, like, as a little girl, like your mom being in the room with you, helping you get ready. And so Will's mom swooped in, and I have a picture I can put in.
Yes.
And like, my bridesmaids were phenomenal. They helped. But in terms of looking for, you know, the mother figure to help, Will's mom was in there. So at that point, she was just like, okay, like, I'm taking you under my wing. Like, I'm your mom now too, that was a nice symbolic moment.
There's beautiful pictures of that moment too,
yeah,
which is nice.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, we're at the venue getting ready.
Yep. And so, you know, our pastor, Pastor Greg, he comes and he comes to get me. We go outside. And this part is kind of like, to me, it's almost like my nerves were so crazy that, like, when I was walking down with my groomsmen, I don't remember seeing like anybody. That stuff was kind of crazy.
Yeah, you get so tunnel vision that
day. Yes, and I was tunnel visioned. You know, we're walking onto a grass front yard, so I was tunnel visioned on like my pastor to get right with him, and also not to like trip or anything, because I just always had a fear of like that would happen to me. And I don't remember seeing like anybody. There was always people that were close to the aisle that were like, "Hey," you know, like whispering or stuff, but I can't remember anybody that was there in that moment. I remember people who were there, but not in that moment of walking down the aisle. I don't remember what anyone said to me. I remember standing there, looking at the ground. I was holding my hands so tight, so tight. And I think it was Pastor Greg. He kind of like patted my hand and was like, "Relax," because
you know, you were tight.
You don't want to get locked up. Mm-hmm.
So, and we mentioned that our pastor was our officiant, and then his wife Heather, who was also really important to me and a great mentor for me, especially in my young adult years. She came in, she did like a prayer over all of us.
Pastor Greg prayed with us too. Yeah, I forgot to mention that as well.
And so it's time for me to walk out. And a wedding planner let me know that it was time for us to walk out. So I'm walking out, and I did have my dad there, and he walked me down. Yeah, I walked a little bit down to him, and then he walked me down. And I remember my dad I could tell he seemed more nervous than I did. So I'm like patting him.
He was crying a lot.
I'm patting him, like, okay, everything's going to be okay. You know that feeling when you're so nervous, like, I don't know if it's that feeling, like, I don't even know, like intense nerves, like where like you're trying to force yourself to smile, but you can feel the muscles like I don't even know, like the muscles are like tremoring on your. That's how I felt. I was like, just smile, you know, reminding myself to just walk to the beat. I tried to like really focus on the music so I could walk to the beat of the song, and like not, because I was so nervous. I felt like I was gonna fly, like just walk super fast to hurry up and get down the aisle. I do remember seeing people, but I was just like trying to look at Will, but I felt nervous looking at him because, you know,
she looked down a lot.
I looked down a lot. I was nervous, but I was excited.
Kind of made for good pictures, because all in the pictures, it's like her and her dad are both looking down. It looks kind of cool. I think.
And I started to cry a little bit the closer I got to Will, especially like when my dad was about to hand me over. And there's something that we did that I thought was really special, because I don't get into too many details on the channel just to be respectful for my family, but I was communally raised by multiple family members. And so it was primarily my aunts, but multiple family members had their hands involved. And it was always a dilemma to me, the whole thing where it's like, well, who gives this woman away, or who gives this bride away? I didn't want it to just be my dad saying, because I didn't think that would be fair given the amount of involvement that so many family members had in my life. And so, you know, it's your wedding. You can customize it to whatever you want. You can omit whatever and add whatever.
Lesson. It's your day. You do what you want.
Yeah. So, working with our wedding planner, Emily, we decided to have my dad, yes, walk me down the aisle, but I wanted my aunts, my grandparents, and my parents to stand up and say, when Pastor Greg asked, who gives this woman away? They all stood up and said, we do. And I wish that there was a photo of it, and I wish that I could have seen them standing behind me like that, because I could hear them, but I didn't see it. And I'm sure that
I saw it. It was really.
I'm sure it was very powerful and beautiful.
It was like the entire first row on Kristyn's side stood up,
because I was the communal child, and I wanted them to receive that honor on that moment.
Also, a little tidbit to insert: the Emily that we're referring to as our wedding planner is the Emily that matched us together.
Yes, so she's really, really, really
She is
pivotal.
super pivotal into our
Still someone we
relationship.
love and care about, but especially those
Deeply.
first few years, she was really pivotal. So yeah, we're in the
ceremony,
yes.
and the ceremony wanted people to walk away from our ceremony knowing, like, goodness, those people are in love with God,
and that He's good,
and that's what we did. So we took communion together. We had her paternal aunt, who is like a very foundational person in her life for her faith, and my mother, who's foundational in my life for my faith. They prayed over us. Our pastor presented the gospel message. Kristyn and I, but mostly Kristyn because she had the mic, sang 2 worship songs.
Yeah, and
we did all of that.
It was like a little, like, church meets a wedding,
pretty much, and that's what we said we wanted. And so we had the ceremony. It's beautiful. I think my favorite part was taking communion, if I'm being honest, because
and those pictures were stunning.
The pictures are so good of that
they're
moment.
My favorite ones.
And it's so intimate. Like, we break bread and drink grape juice together the first time as a married couple, and it's just us and our pastor. That was one of the best moments of that whole day. And
it was good.
And it was quiet. I mean, we turned off the mics, so it was people just kind of watched from the back. They didn't fit. So it was in front of everybody, but it was still private. So
it was intimate and special.
That was really special. And then I remember us reading our vows, which was also super special. I'm pretty sure like I teared up when you were reading your vows to me again, because there's 2 things that will always make me cry, or 3 things: communion, weddings, and baptisms. So they always make me cry. And so I was crying during the vows.
Who went first? You did.
I think I did. Yeah, I think I went first.
I don't know if I was so nervous.
It was so funny because I had mine was handwritten on notebook paper.
Yeah, mine was printed.
We still have them, but honestly, the ink is fading. Like, I need to type this thing up.
Yeah, we need to type it so we don't forget.
But Kristyn's was on printed paper, so it looked more official. Anyways, it was...
wasn't more official.
But we did our vows. We did our kiss. And typically leading up to this moment, it was just like a little... Our kisses had just been like a little peck. And Kristyn was kind of expecting that, and I was not given that. So
we have pictures of that, because I was like laughing because I wasn't expecting him to like kiss me that long.
Yeah, it was.
And everyone was cheering.
Yeah, and then they kind of stopped cheering, like when we started walking down the aisle, and I was like, no, y'all can keep cheering.
Yeah,
and got loud again.
It was a beautiful. We had a large wedding party. Lots of friends.
We each had between 8 and 9 groomsmen and bridesmaids. We had.
There's people that weren't able to make it.
We had planned for 9, but one of my groomsmen and one of her bridesmaids were international, so they weren't able to make it.
Yeah.
But that was that was so great. So great.
Speaking of how great my bridesmaids were, my bridesmaids helped me. Actually did my hair, styled my hair into this beautiful bun that you guys see in these pictures. Also, my bridesmaids were helping each other get dressed, helping me get my hair done, helping me get my veil on, helping each other get dressed. It was just such a good environment. Our wedding planner asked us, what are our top 3 things? I don't remember all of them, but I do know that photography was in the top 3. We were able to walk the grounds of the manor and get lots of beautiful pictures, which I will insert and put in as we're talking through. So after that, cocktail hour, we head in.
Yeah, and it was a very fun reception. Our first dance was Until the End of Time by Justin Timberlake and Beyonce.
Yeah, and good mashup.
It was a good mashup. Yeah, it was a great dance. Everyone was there. It was also it was April 29th, and like the week before was warm, the week afterward was warm, but this day was frigid.
Freezing
cold.
I'm talking about, I think 50s
and windy. It was pretty cold. The reception was like really fun. Kristyn and her dad, their dance was amazing.
Yeah, that was a
He
lot
just
of
kind of
fun.
like, they didn't rehearse it at all, but it looked like it was like choreographed. And her dad just directed her the whole time.
He did a great job with that.
And my mom loves to line dance, and she loves to dance in general. So she had asked me before she came, she said, what are some line dances that I need to refresh up on? Because they came up in their camper, and she was practicing in the kitchen of her camper. All of these songs, right? And there was one called the Biker Shuffle, which I had learned from Kristyn's family.
Yeah, from Aunt Pam.
And I was like, you need to learn this one, so it's definitely going to be played. My mom was like, okay, I'll learn it. So we forgot to give the DJ the song for my mom.
Yeah, they wanted Josh Groban.
I know, right? It would have been
raised
sad.
Me up. Y'all would have just stood there and
cried.
I'm glad y'all didn't do that.
I know, me too, because it was goofy. But the Biker Shuffle was going to be the first song after me and my mom's dance to get everyone on the dance floor. But because our DJ, we didn't, I guess, get the memo to him in time, the Biker Shuffle comes on for me and mom. Both of us just paused for a second.
We have that picture.
Yeah, it's me going like this, like thinking about what to do.
What are we going to do?
And I was like, we just got to go with it. And so we did the Biker Shuffle, and everyone was like, oh, that was so fun.
Yeah, like, you guys planned that. Like,
blah,
no.
Blah. It's like, no, it was a complete accident. Shout out to my mom for always making sure she's prepared with the dance moves.
We love a prepared mom. Our whole deal was that we wanted the reception to feel like a big cookout, to just feel like a fun family and friends function, like a cookout. So we had cornhole, and we had drinks, we had ladder ball. We had lawn games and drinks.
Her former co-teacher at Goddard, Stephanie, her husband made custom
beautiful
cornhole sets, which is it's beautiful.
We had it catered. It was barbecue
by
Carter Q in the Mount Airy area in Maryland.
Delicious,
very good. So we had wonderful food, and then we had these beautiful desserts by a really great family friend, Teresa, who is a amazing baker and artist.
We did all of the decorations DIY.
Yeah, we did. How did we forget to talk about that?
We really exploited my calligraphy skills that I had gained from the proposal. So that was on everything, was my calligraphy. And then shout out to all of the teachers. I sent out messages starting in February. We wanted to do wine bottles, right? Empty wine bottles with flowers and stuff and ribbons.
And I'll put some pictures in for that too.
And I asked my coworkers, I was like, if you have bottles of wine, just bring them to my classroom, and I'll, because we were going to take them back, strip them, paint them.
Yeah.
Hundreds of bottles.
So we used them for our centerpieces and for the decorations in there.
We saved a few that still have made it, and still are decorations in our house.
Yeah.
And we had some really great friends. We did like a crafting DIY party a few weeks before the wedding, and they came over and helped spray paint. They
were either wedding guests or bridesmaids and groomsmen.
Yeah.
They helped us to like
spray paint bottles,
wash the bottles,
on sticks, because we did the ribbons on sticks,
make our decorations basically. So yeah, we DIY'd that whole thing, and then we had just like the buckets of the decorations, and then our wedding planner, we showed her pictures kind of the configurations, how we wanted things to be set up, and then she made sure it was set up in that tent that way. And we came down.
But she made it look great. Absolutely perfect.
Yeah, it was beautiful in there. So we had our DIY decorations that actually looked pretty high end.
Yeah, they did.
Upscale, beautiful tent. But it was like an upscale version of a cookout, and that's the feel we wanted to go for, and that's what we ended up having for the reception. And it was a lot of fun. Line dances, lots of different music that was from our childhood, from the 2000s and all that stuff. So that was a lot of fun. It was a good time had by all. We did end up ending the reception. I think we were supposed to go until 8, right? Or was it?
Yeah, I think we ended at 7.
Was it 8? I can't remember what the timings were.
Okay,
I think it was that.
Here's what it was. The venue closes at 8. You have to shut down at 7 because they have to do an hour for cleanup before the venue closes. And I think we ended at 6:30.
We ended early. We ended early.
We had our food. It was great and everything, but people had definitely started phasing out because
it was cold. It was in the 50s and it's spring, so everyone did. No one.
And let me
people
tell you,
didn't really dress like that.
The people that stuck around to do our little bubbles to say bye to us. It was like we had like 170 people there. By the end, honestly, it was like, I would say 45,
It was getting
50.
wispy.
It was getting wispy. So those that stuck around to the very
Real
end,
MVPs.
MVPs.
And I have
And
some
we have
pictures I could
of all
throw
y'all.
in. Yeah.
So that was like super fun. And
but it was wonderful. It was beautiful. It really is true that, like how people say that your wedding day goes by so fast. I mean, it is a blink compared to the amount of time, prep, and planning that goes into it. But I really feel like our wedding day, like, as much as you can, we savored it and had a great time, and it really turned out mostly the way we wanted. I mean, besides you cutting your neck and then, you know, the
song error, because our wedding planner, she's told us her job was to make sure if any errors occurred that we never saw them or knew about them, and she did a great job. Because I think there were some more things that went wrong, but she wouldn't even tell us what they were. So.
And then, yeah, we had the song error for
your entrance and my first
and
dance.
Actually, the song error for the first dance was actually my fault, because I made the Spotify playlist for our dances and somehow just forgot to put the Josh Groban thing on there. Maybe it was because I was like, Josh Groban song.
She's probably like, this clown.
No, I really didn't even mind the song. I really forgot. And it just happened that way. But besides just a couple of hiccups, it was a
wonderful,
beautiful day that we love to look back on.
Shout out to our photographer, Shelby, and her, I forgot who was with her.
Oh, Marissa.
They captured so many good moments.
Yeah, she did.
Like, they
did a great job.
Oh my goodness.
Get a second shooter for your wedding.
Yeah.
It's definitely worth it. She did a great job.
Yeah, so it was
helping.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
And then we got in the car to drive away. I believe my groomsman Kevin was responsible to make sure we got all of our stuff in the car, which he did well. So thank you, Kevin. And when we got in the car, I remember both of us kind of looked at each other like, whew.
Ooh, we did it. This is crazy.
Yeah, that was nuts.
We get in the car, we head back to our house in Baltimore to start our happily ever after.
And we took the next 2 weeks off of work, both of us.
Yes,
we
had
a week at home,
honeymoon.
just kind of like adjusting to
being
new married
married
life, and then did a week for our honeymoon, a cruise throughout the Caribbean, which was wonderful.
Yeah. So. Wow. Well, if you have made it to the end of this video, thanks you so much for watching. And if you like us, you like what you've heard and seen, please give us a thumbs up. And
please
you know
subscribe.
What?
Please leave a comment.
Yeah, just go ahead and help us out here. We are on our journey to 1,000 subscribers.
And we're close.
We are right at like $8.99 right now at the time of recording this. So we hope to get to that 1,000 soon. But yeah, we thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys next time on
Week's Watch.
Week's Watch.